Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Morgan and today I'm going to show you how I made this Northern Lights tumbler. So I'm using a 20-ounce skinny from the Stainless Steel Depot. I've already spray painted it a gloss black and I have about 5 milliliters of epoxy on it. So I'm just using some pigment powders from NMO. This one is Yale, and I'm just taking a fan brush that I got from Target and I'm just randomly blotting it on the cup. I'm kind of drawing little lines on it. I'm just going at random angles up and down. I'm just barely touching my brush at the top of the powder just to get just barely enough on it. And then I'm just dragging it across the cup. Now I'm going in with Russian Violet. This is a new powder. It came in the March Creative Kit. So if you don't have this one, a good alternative will be called Chicken Wing. All these powders are listed individually on NMO's site. If you go under the pigment powder section, I think it only shows up the palettes, but if you search the names of these individually, they will come up for you. And again, I'm just doing the same thing that I did with the blue. I just went in and dabbed it just randomly. And now this is white gold. This is a white powder, but it has a gold shimmer to it. So when you put it on a black base, it really pops out that gold, and it is just beautiful. Now I'm going in with Moon River. This pigment powder also has a shift to it. This one throws kind of greens, pinks, golds. It throws all the shades, and it's just beautiful as well. And I went a little bit lighter on this one just because it did have a lot of the colors that I already used on it, but I just dabbed it around just like we've been doing. Now we're going in with Reef. This is another beautiful pigment powder that I'm just obsessed with lately. And like I said, we're just doing the same exact thing. Now we're just kind of filling the gaps in a little bit with this color. It's a little bit more bold, so again, I went a little bit lighter on this one than I did some of the other colors. But just the same technique again. And I did want to mention that I am wiping my brush off in between colors as well, just not to contaminate it. Now I'm going in with just a silicone brush and I'm just swiping upwards on those pigment powders. I'm not putting a lot of pressure, I'm just going over it really lightly. And again, I'm wiping off my brush with some paper towels and rubbing alcohol just in between so I'm not making a jumbled up mess. Just really lightly swiping up on that until you get the look that you're going for. I let that spin for a little bit longer and then I just went in with my finger and fixed just a few spots. So once that epoxy layer is cured, it's time to move into our decals. I'm using just regular Orcal 651 black vinyl for this. I think I just searched trees on Design Space and it came up. And I cut this at 9.25 inches wide by 5 inches high. And I've already applied my transfer tape and I'm just wrapping it around my cup to make sure everything lines up nicely before I go to apply it. Once I make sure everything lines up nicely, I'm just going to apply it the same way I do all my vinyl. I'm going to use the felt side of my squeegee tool and just wrap that around my tumbler. And once you get close to being at the end of your wrap, you're going to want to pull off your paper and then lift up the beginning side of your transfer tape. You don't want to lay that vinyl on top of your transfer tape because it's going to just screw up your wrap completely. So you're going to want to pull that back just a wee little bit there as I'm doing, and then you're going to lay the rest of your vinyl down. I must have forgot to record myself removing my transfer tape, but you just want to stay nice and close to your vinyl, pulling off little sections at a time so it creates less bubbles underneath for you. Once we have our vinyl laid completely smooth on our tumbler, we're going to move into the next step, which is our epoxy. So I'm adding a pigment powder called Vice, also by NMO. Look how gorgeous that is. We're just going to add just a very small amount to our epoxy. I'm taking a popsicle stick and just barely getting the end of that popsicle stick covered and just mixing that into my epoxy. I think I have about 20 milliliters of epoxy mixed up for this. And like I said, you're just going to mix that into your epoxy until you get all the clumps out. Now with a gloved hand, we're just going to apply the epoxy all over our tumbler. After I have that epoxy layer on, and while my epoxy's still wet, I'm moving right into my stars. I'm adding some stars from my 7 Wonders mix from NMO. It has different sizes of stars, moons, and also has even little hearts in it as well. And I'm just going around with my tweezers and adding some stars around my cup. Alright guys, after that layer cured, I added 2 more coats of epoxy and we were all done. I just love how this cup came out. It was super easy to make, and I just love that even if I remake it, no two are going to look identical. It's so unique and just so beautiful. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, and if you liked my video, please like and subscribe to my channel. We'll see you next time.